Well, the guys are supposed to come here tomorrow to put the countertops in. I still have to take this one piece out. I've already taken out all the screws. Look at all the screws that were in here. Most of those came out of this one piece of plywood. Granted, there was 3 or 4 here and like 2 over there. The rest of the screws were over here. And I've got to pull this piece out, and I'm glad I started on Tuesday. Here it is, Sunday already. And you know, you're going to do things on your own. Give yourself enough time in case during the week things get away from you and you get tired, or you end up needing to do something else over the weekend, and you still have enough time to get your job done. Now, even though they put in all these screws, they also put little tiny finish nails in here and construction adhesive. And on this particular piece, there's a piece here and there's a flat piece, probably 1x2 or something like that. So I took out a couple other screws that I didn't see, and I just used my stiff putty knife and hit it all the way. And now I got this slightly loose. But see, now I've got to go from here this way. I need to get this edge loose so that then I can come over here and get this edge where the dishwasher was. See, it's nailed all the way through here. And where this half wall is, as soon as I get this loose here, then I can get a pry bar under where this wall is and jerk on it and try to raise this whole thing, starting from this end. Or maybe if I get this edge loose, I can lift it up this way to get it loose over here, and then take it and lift it up this way, you know. And I already went around these corbels and I scored them because I wasn't sure. I scored them with a sheetrock knife because I wasn't sure if the last person, before they painted those, caulked that, but they did caulk it. They did caulk it where this trim is here, up here, so I had to give that two run-bys with my sheetrock knife all the way down there. Score. That's going to help lift this up, right? And so now I've got to take this up right along here, and I wasn't sure where I was gonna set you up. I guess I can set you right there. And I'm just gonna, see, I gotta be real careful with this because there's just one piece of trim at the top of where these fake drawers were, so it's only 2 inches tall. And to loosen that, I've got to go along here and lift this up with my screwdriver. First start off, just to try to get it up high enough, then get my hacksaw, just a hacksaw blade. And see, that was the first nail, right there. Here's another one. And once I do that, I can move this along. I can't get a pry bar in there just yet because there's really not enough room. That's all I can do to raise this up enough to come to the next nail over here and get it. And see, now I've got that one. I can lift up on this, maybe go one more. Nope, I can't. I gotta move this along. Pull that out. Get this in here. Not too much because I don't want to break that. See there? Now I can raise that up enough to get to the next nail. See? And if you want to save something, That's what you got to do, stuff like this. I can pry that up. Now I could probably take my flat bar back here. That'll help hold that where I can wedge that up a little. You just have to do a little bit at a time. Strategically. And I've got to go over to there, and I'm just going to keep working on it. I don't think I'm going to show you the whole thing right here, but you know, what else can I use in there? Could probably put this in. And I don't want to force it. I put a crowbar in there and jerked up. Instead of this coming up, it could possibly break my face frame, because I might have it not only nailed, but also glued with contact, or with construction adhesive. If I put something in there, I've got to make sure to be careful it doesn't fall out and scratch my wall, or my face frame, or my doors. I don't usually like using pry bars there. I can leave this one in here, see? I can leave that one as I continue. And this is my crummy screwdriver I use for all kinds of stuff. Pry on that a little bit. Can you believe that? That's how I've done the other pieces of plywood on the front edge. Like this piece here. This piece here was a pain. I had to do the same technique, starting from that corner, working up here, going across this way, because you don't want to pry on your finished edge and get it to bead off or get it to flake off, because that's part of your finish, see? And the same thing with this one. This one was tough. I had to do that same technique all the way along here, all the way along here, along there, just to get it far enough to then try to muscle this thing up and bend it up. So see, if I keep doing that, you can see, once I get this edge loose, then I can see what is holding here, and they've probably got this nailed here. I'm not quite sure what to do about that just yet. I'm hoping not to have to cut that with a skill saw up next to the edge of there, and then keep doing this technique from there. I think if I get it far enough here, then I can put another pry bar, crowbar, whatever, right in here. But I can't do that until I get this big enough so that I don't mess up the front of this face frame and the front of that face frame and all that. You see what I'm saying? So I just have to bite the bullet and take my time with this. I have no real other options. All because they wanted this plywood taken off. Now sometimes countertop guys want the plywood left. It just depends what type of material you're going to use and all that. Because see, with granite's usually about 3/4 thick or so, and then they do their edges differently. They'll they'll round off one edge, and if you want a bowl nose, then they add another little piece underneath it, wrap that bowl nose and glue it together so there's two pieces making the full wrap. And then the edge looks like it's about 1.5 inches thick or so. Well, with this quartz material, the quartz material is about 1 inch and 3/8, the guy was saying, something like that. And they don't want to add that second piece underneath there. If they didn't, and they just ran it across, you'd see the edge of this plywood. See all the way around. And they didn't want to add another piece, because if they add another piece to their particular product, it could hit the top edge of your drawers. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why they want the whole edge cleaned off like this, just the cabinet. Just the cabinet with no plywood on top of it. That way when they come out, their whole material, they'll bowl nose that, or they'll just do an eased edge over the top, depending what kind you want. And then it's going to come straight out at the bottom of that, and that's going to be their finished product. You see what I mean? So there's different ways to do your counters. So because there was an existing countertop on here, obviously I really have to take my time, energy, focus on getting this out the proper way, right? So that I don't damage. The last thing I want to do is damage the countertop or the cabinet edge or any of the face frames, because if I bend too much, I could crack something. Then all of a sudden, oh, my face frame's got a crack in it, or it's got a big old gouge, or the front edge of my trim, like where this is. I can't just start wedging on that with a crowbar and dig into that, because this is the finished edge, see? So I have to just keep her going the way I've been doing it. And then once I pull this off, there's going to be a ledge of the nail's going to be there, so I have to take my rasp the top of the nail off, or take a nail set and tap those in. And then there'll be, if they put construction adhesive underneath this, which I'm sure they did, because they did on these other cabinets. Well, that was a pain in the rear too, to clean this off nice all the way along there. That took forever, because see, the construction adhesive is on here like that. This one had even ripped off all the plywood. That's how strong the construction adhesive was along here, and that took me a while just to clean that all up. And so I still have my work cut out for me. It's Sunday afternoon, and I've got to get this done, because once I get done with this, I want to clean up, vacuum everything out, and get everything ready for them, so I don't have to mess with it tomorrow. Even on the floor, I don't think I necessarily need to sweep up the floor anymore, but this thing is full of dust. No matter how many times I go over it with this broom, there's going to be dust on the floor. Or if I go over it with the fine hand broom, dust is going to fly up again. So I don't want to do that anymore. I'm pretty much done with this plastic, but I'm not going to take the plastic down. When I get all done with this, I've got to take the craft paper off, and then I'm actually going to vacuum out the drawers and everything that fell in underneath everything. I'm going to vacuum all that. I'm even going to vacuum with the hand attachment on my vacuum. I'm going to vacuum the floor, and that'll take up all of the dust on here. It'll be nice and clean, ready for the countertop guys to come in here. And I think, like I was saying before, I'm going to leave this up because they're going to be here tomorrow. So it's only one extra night of leaving the blue tape up. And if you're counting, I put the tape up on Tuesday. So Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. Six nights of having that blue tape up on flat ceiling paint, and we'll see how well that comes off without marking up, without pulling off the paint. I think it's going to be okay. And that's flat paint up there. We got eggshell finish, which is a low sheen enamel type paint on the wall. So I'm really not concerned too much about that. But I went the extra mile and used the blue tape on there. Okay, so tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll pull up the tape, probably to there, and just kind of fold this back.